Welcome, everyone, to Full Casual, the most casual takes on the internet and where the title doesn't matter. I'm with my host here, Dan.
What a morning.
Right?
Already got my lift in.
Yeah, you're a
I
better
feel like
man
I
than
can
me.
take on the world.
What were you lifting today? What were you working?
Chest, of course.
Yeah. Wow. What inspired you to hit chest?
It's the day of the week. I have a 4-day rotation.
Solid.
Nothing
Solid.
crazy.
No. Typical UFC fighter rotation, right? Are you flexing your pecs, right? Are you trying to give the people a little bump?
Yeah, maybe a little.
You can't do the right one, can you? You got only the left. Back and forth, on beat. Boom. Yeah, sorry guys. This weekend's card wasn't the most exciting thing
Hooray,
in the
Thug
world.
Rose won. Someone got bit,
Yeah, that's pretty fun. Vampire action.
but I
in
feel
the
like it's
UFC.
already too old to talk about.
You let us know in the comments. Do you care about biting in the UFC? Should the UFC have biting? You know what? I'm not opposed to it. Dan, pros and cons of biting.
All right, so there's this thing called rough and tumble back in the day in like the 1700s, West Virginia, Appalachia,
I'm listening.
where you could eye gouge, you could bite. It was, no holds barred.
Okay.
Maybe we get back to our roots. That's as American as it gets.
We got to do this outdoors, though. And there needs to be some sort of like illegal moonshining happening. in the
Well,
background.
originally when they had Fight Island, the promos and everything, I thought it was going to be outside. I was like, this is odd. This is weird.
Open air fighting in the desert might be a little sketch.
Yeah, but it's a man-made desert, and it's a man-made island.
Man,
So they can manufacture. They do the weather. They can do the wind. I don't know.
You're getting dangerously close to saying
If you have
things
to
that are gonna get
start
us
like
canceled.
factoring in the elements during a fight, that'd be kind of a fun little dynamic.
It's a Pokemon battle at that point. The stadium is changing.
Hey, if you want to, throw your dog in there too.
It's now a water level. That reminds me. You know what's getting popular now is that like military like boots full clothes jujitsu in the mud.
Like a tough mudder, but MMA.
Yeah. I don't know whether they're striking. It's like it's just grappling, but it's like Tough Mudder grappling. And they're like, this is more realistic. And I'm like, this just looks like every bad street fight I've ever seen at every festival. I mean, there's some better technique, of course.
Let
but-
Nate Diaz fight in those. Be like, oh, if I was out in the streets, I would have got you.
well,
It's like he said that for the Leon fight. It's like, dude, well, they wouldn't have stopped 4 previous times when Leon was beating your ass. Like, oh, you caught him in the 5th round. Cool, man. But the fight wouldn't have stopped 4 times before that.
He's just head kicking you into oblivion.
Weren't we next? So we were there for that fight. That was in Arizona, right?
Yep.
And I think we were next to like Nate's cousins or something.
Cannot confirm or deny that to not be racist, but yeah.
They were from Stockton. They
Yeah.
were talking to us, and it gave off the vibe. And I believe they kept calling him Cuz. I mean, it could just be a dude
again,
from Stockton. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're from Stockton, you're cuz. That's just the way it is. I don't make the rules.
No, I get it.
Yeah. Very
Kind of
similar.
going full Nate Diaz today. The
Yeah,
beanie.
you are with that beanie.
Yeah.
That Washington Commanders beanie.
That we got for free.
Yeah, from Raven
I
Matt.
have to rip the logo off. I try to hide it as an Eagles fan.
Y'all in the same division?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
But I don't take them seriously. They're the Commanders. It's
Right.
not, that doesn't even sound like a real NFL team.
Their team is so unorganized.
It's generic. It's like we didn't have.
Ross was allowed to steal last week's armbands
I know.
and sneak onto the field, or attempt to sneak onto the field.
Dude, we got checked. Remember?
Yeah, the dude was like, huh. He
We were
put,
with, like,
he
the
put a hand
honor-
in his chest. He was like, he just smelled. He's like, no,
We were
this
with
ain't
the
how things operate.
honorary veteran of the game, and they're like, I don't know if you got the credentials. Like his fucking face is on the screen.
True. I mean, there was actually a veteran in full garb with this kid holding his hand.
But the Commanders just come off like a team that in a movie where you don't have the rights to the NFL teams.
Yeah, it's any given Sunday
Yeah.
as the Washington Commanders. Al
gotta
Pacino's like,
change
we're
their
going to
names.
take him down. And then,
Either way, MMA this weekend. I don't know. Biggest story, obviously, the bite. You got that. A motherfucker bit me bonus.
Mhm.
Got it tattooed.
He got the bite tattooed on him?
As he went immediately to get some ink over the bite mark.
How you feel about that?
Can't be sanitary, right? Might get infected.
Yeah, there's still saliva in that.
Didn't really break blood though. right?
No. And going
Made an impression.
it's also not the first bite in combat sports.
It's the second most famous bite, I would say.
Behind Tyson?
Yeah, Tyson's one.
Yeah. I mean, he has a whole
He
edible
fucking-
company based on it now.
Yeah, he took a chunk off Holyfield.
Is he?
Holyfield's never the same. Yeah.
No.
He also, I believe, got fined $3 million, lost his boxing license. There are consequences. I was seeing people being like, "Oh, he didn't get a warning for the bite." It's like, no, you get that when you're 2.
Yeah, there's one thing you can't do is like eye gouge, bite, fish hook.
I just
You can't 12 to 6.
Have you
or
ever
6 to
been
12
bitten?
elbow.
Have you been in a street fight and been bitten?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Oh fuck.
Yeah. It's the primal urge. Like, I don't know why, but it's like you really like,
Have you bitten someone?
no. I had to think about
That's
it.
good. That's good.
But I have had the urge to.
I'd have to leave if you did.
I have had the urge. Dude, like,
It wasn't like sexual, of course.
when you're completely like helpless and someone is just like dominating you, you have no defenses, like your brain kind of goes there. You're like, what do I do?
Yeah, maybe if I'm getting choked out.
Yeah. Or you're just
just
getting
kinda dip
walloped
down.
on and someone's just smothering you and you've got nowhere to go and they're just raining hands on you. You want to get out of there.
That's gonna piss him off more though.
Okay, so I'm really into this TV show Black Sails. It's a little old now.
Oh my god. You're the only person that has stars.
Out there, watch it.
It's fine.
Into
It at
the-
least has a bigger budget than Shogun.
one of the guys at the end of season 1, at season finale, they raid a ship and he bites him in the jugular and like rips it out, and it's pretty savage.
It is primal. And it wasn't looked down upon back when it was like the days of gentlemanly fighting.
You mean when?
Although I
dudes-
wouldn't really say Appalachia was gentlemanly.
No. Have you ever been to the Appalachian Mountains?
I used to grow up around that area.
Where you put the upper decker in the horseshoe of that grizzly wintergreen?
We would typically go to the Poconos in Pennsylvania, but we kind of wander down under to Virginia, West Virginia.
Ever been to Knoxville, Tennessee, boy?
We were together in Knoxville, Tennessee. We've been to Knoxville together. We got ice cream together.
Run that back.
We were in the fucking stadium.
We were stuck against that fence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't even know who they were playing that week. They rolled somebody though. It was like the Tennessee hype train last year.
Was it Texas?
No, they didn't play Texas. It was an SEC school.
There's so much I remember.
Yeah. Peyton Talbot looked good.
Yes, my boy. New Fear the Fro. Finally,
Maybe a contender at bantamweight.
dude, another reason why I love Dana White's Contender Series. Like, some of these guys are really good, and there's a legitimate like pathway to the UFC.
Well, apparently Dana feels the same because he said he's more excited about Contender Series than the UFC. Probably because it has his name on it.
That's just Dana giving the rub. You know
I think
what
he's
I
been
mean?
hanging out with Trump too much.
Just put your name on
He's
everything.
going to plaster his name on everything. Dana White's Power Slab,
Dana White's
Contender
power
Series.
bars, Dana White's power bands, just all the things. Power supplements.
Loves to go on podcasts that just suck his dick.
Oh, did you listen to Lex Friedman?
Gargle his balls.
Lex rolled out the red carpet for him.
Now, what's a red carpet in podcasting?
He just, in A Knight's Tale, where he just starts reading off all the fake accolades. Mm-hmm. Lex Friedman basically unrolled a scroll for Dana, and he was like, "Dana White."
Or in Game of Thrones when they just start listing Danny's fucking titles. It's
Yes.
like, all right, we get it.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Maker of John Jones. The sexiest bald man to ever live, Dana White.
Only hit his wife once
On camera.
that we know of.
That was big for like 15 minutes.
Survived it, man. Man cannot get removed. He also threatened, he said he threatened to leave the UFC if Joe Rogan got fired.
I respect that. People have been hating on Joe recently.
People have been hating on Joe for a long time.
Especially with his, yeah.
You can hate on Joe for his comedy because it sucks. It's not good.
I listened to one of his old albums on the plane back.
Why? It's not good.
It was downloaded on my Spotify.
He's a fine podcaster.
Amazing podcaster.
Some would say, the biggest in the world. Much bigger than this show. Although we're getting numbers right now on YouTube just from clickbait. And
Yeah, so we really
that's all
appreciate
you.
all of you. If you could also like and subscribe. I know a lot of you are downloading right now, which we also very much appreciate.
Your
Just
hate
any
watching.
kind of engagement is amazing, and we love you.
Do we still have like 100 subscribers?
183 as
And
we're
we're doing like 2,000 views an episode.
you gotta bring
It's
it up.
so easy to poke the UFC and MMA community.
Dan,
There's-
why are you being so disrespectful to our loving people,
They get so butthurt
the loving casuals?
because they haven't made it this far.
They don't have a spare bedroom that they put a camera up in. Yes, it's exactly MMA.
No, I'm saying they haven't made this far in the podcast.
Oh yeah, no, they quit watching after minute 3. We're really risky. We could just say anything at this point, and no one.
I know.
But back to our main topic of the evening, World War III, because this is very important and a very important podcast. We're trying to break some things down for. We have one of our own there, having boots on the ground in Ukraine. Who is it, Dan?
Our fellow Austinite, Craig Jones, is in Ukraine, Kiev, teaching seminars.
Oh, he's doing reporting. I mean,
And
the man's Instagram story is better than any news.
The most information I've gotten about Ukraine in a year.
Yeah. Which apparently they're still straight up getting bombed.
Oh, yeah, like every day, of course. I mean, they also had that mass shooting in Russia last week with like 140 civilians that died. Apparently it was an ISIS attack. I don't know. They caught the guys. They cut the guy's ear off.
Really?
Made him eat it. They don't give these terrorists their day in court, nor should they, really.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So a lot of ear stuff going on. You know, nothing combined.
Well, the bite this week wasn't
on
the ear.
the ear, yeah.
It was on the arm.
Yeah, that's true.
But that said, I offered up the topic, what if we just get rid of war and combat sports becomes how we decide major, world conflicts?
Do we have weight classes?
Yeah. But let's say everybody offers up 10 champions, or we'll make it an odd number, 11 champions.
Okay.
And if you get in a problem right now, like Russia, I wouldn't say they would fight Ukraine in a MMA because Ukraine doesn't really have that many MMA fighters to speak on their behalf. But maybe NATO, right? Like all the NATO nations.
So that was going to be my next question is, do we divide topics by style? Like if this is like an economic dispute or a tariff dispute, are we doing sambo, jiu-jitsu?
It's all martial arts.
So it's all just mixed martial arts?
It's all blood sport.
So basically Gamebred FC is going to host the UN inaugural World Fighting Summit.
Yep. So right now, they're having you're fighting over Crimea. Russia's going to send in their Dagestanis and probably get that piece of land. Habib signs back up. He returns. You got Islam fighting for his nation.
Habib already has a town. Like, what more can you give him?
Russia want more.
The only thing that could be better.
Do you think Dagestanis care about the motherland, I guess? Or is Dagestan its own thing? Do you cut them off?
From my understanding, most of the provinces, like there's like 6 or 7.
It's massive.
They regionally, culturally are more to their own, if that makes sense.
Yes, but I'm wondering, do they have like a pride in Russia? Like, you could be...
I know the wrestlers do.
Like America, right? You can be SEC all day, right? But you can still love my country. Go Bama, but also USA.
Kind of, but, think of like the East Coasters and West Coasters. They're like, no, we're not we don't fly the American flag. We're like the coastal elites.
That's newish. That's like I think that's like the last 10 years.
I feel like the founding colonies were always kind of like that up there.
To an extent, you're right.
Like we're
South Carolina, of course. South Carolina always calls in issues. God damn.
It's funny. I learned up why Florida wasn't really involved in the Civil War at all, or the Revolutionary War, because
they didn't belong to us in the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, they were just their own thing.
Yeah, it was the Spanish colony.
Oh no, I'm thinking Civil War then.
Yeah.
They were like really behind on everything and had like no beef whatsoever. No, the Florida colonies were also super chill with Britain, I feel like.
We just did an episode on softcore history about St. Augustine.
Uh-huh.
Just like obviously first Spanish colony, one of the first colonies and cities in America. French got there too. And boy, did they not get along.
No.
No. Not because the French, had any beef with the Spanish. The Spanish were just like, oh, seems like you're on our land.
Yeah. How about you get off our land?
How about you die?
And they're like, bro, there wasn't a sign. There's just a bunch of gators.
Very bloody beach. It was a very bloody beach. The French didn't even know they were warned. They were just like, hey, yeah, thanks for the wine. It's about, we're starting to see double. Maybe it's time we go. And they're like, no, you don't leave. You get stabbed.
Apparently, they're still colonizing things around the world.
You can still colonize, I think.
Yeah, French still doing that.
Is there still land to colonize?
Again, I think.
I mean, you can colonize all land, but there's no such thing as like open land right now. We've driven through this country. When we went to Phoenix for the Super Bowl, there's so much empty space and just nothingness. But I believe that all belongs to the U.S. government.
It does. They were like, "Oh, is there land here? It's ours." I mean, I think that's the whole concept of Manifest Destiny.
Coast to coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sea to sea.
But back to this concept.
Yes.
Let's say we offer up our best fighters. Who's representing the U.S. of A. if we get into a war with Russia? Who's fighting the Dagestanis, really?
You got to think,
All right, so who's
John Jones.
Dude, John Jones done.
No, John's still. You got the wisdom. You got the experience. You got Gordon.
We make Tommy Aspinall a U.S. citizen.
No, he's English. I mean, I think I can put a team together. We go Gordon, John.
Is Gordon allowed to take gas?
Of course. And it's state sponsored gas.
Does Gordon have hands?
I don't think it matters.
He can just submit people.
I think he grabs you quickly enough. I think.
Okay.
Because you got to get to him to hit him, and honestly, he's kind of hard to hit on the ground. So I think it's like some M&I rolls. Like you got one soccer kick attempt.
It's like fighting a Gracie.
Yeah, it's really is like you. If you're within touching distance of Gordon, I think he breaks whatever limb he gets a hold of. He breaks.
It would look worse than Damian Maya.
Yeah.
I think he would get kind of fucked up.
So, Gordon, John.
I don't want old ass John fighting.
Dude, he's still the best, and he's huge. You got to think big guys.
Yeah, all right. But it's not like a 10-on-10 fight, right? It's one, or is it 1-on-1?
You said no weight classes.
I was saying weight class, and it's just like best of, right? So it's like
you got to put David Taylor in there.
The reason I made an odd number is so you get an odd amount of wins. So it's like, all right, if you go 6-5 in 11 fights,
okay, let's start small. We go,
Mike. Or do we go 10-on-10 like old school Russian fights?
Well, then I'm going all big again. Like you got to set some rules down for me to pick my team.
All right, the rules are you got to represent every weight class.
All right, starting first off, I'm thinking Mikey Musumeci. I'm thinking we can teach him enough defense, and he's so tough, and I think he's so much better than all these small guys. He's just running through these Sambo dudes who apparently have hands.
You're not gonna have. Would he be at 125 then?
Yeah,
flyweight.
Yeah,
because I was gonna say like you could have Cejudo.
He's not making the weight.
Okay,
he's not making the weight.
But I just think he will if it it means.
I think he's in my 35. He's my 35 for sure. So
no, we have way better 35ers.
Who?
Cordy, Sanhagen.
Nah, because Sue's probably captaining my team too, so I need that leadership and that experience there. And he's also going to help train. He's tactics-wise, he's the best.
Sanhagen's great. He's going to fuck up fucking Usman. I'm calling him now.
You mean Umar?
Or yeah, Umar. Sorry. It's early in the morning.
It is.
He's going to fuck Umar up. We kind of sleep on how good Corey is.
Are we excluding all boxers?
No, you can have a boxer, but I don't know if that is I don't think that's going to, bode well in a real fight. They get kicked in the leg, it's over.
Right, but like, what's his name? Who was on Schaub's or no?
Crawford?
Yeah, Crawford.
I don't know if he's on Schaub's podcast, but I mean, Bud Crawford's the best fucking boxer in the world right now.
Yeah, so I'm thinking,
pound for pound.
What's he, 45?
They move so many weight classes.
Right. Max, though. I'm thinking Max in there as well.
Max. Yeah, because you got to think. I'm thinking of the weight classes too, because I mean, Volks obviously represent Australia.
55, I think I'm going
Who does Taporia represent?
Spain.
Not Georgia?
No.
Him and Marab aren't fighting for Georgia? Because Georgia could low-key have a decent squad.
They could. So could Chechnya.
The Chechens.
Yeah.
Eh.
I still think America rolls this. I'm going
Again, I think they're all rolled into Russia.
Kyle Dake. I think I have a team that beats Russia.
Are you just going to get all Penn State wrestlers?
I'm going to have 2 on the team.
You're going to Bo?
Ooh, Bo does slot in well. Bo slots in real well. Because I think we got to train Kyle with some defense, but his wrestling is just that much next level. And I think all these Russians are scared of him.
Also, Russia doesn't get to claim Chimaev, right?
No.
He's technically like Swedish.
Chechen.
Chechen, but like the flag he flies.
He's
Although
Swedish,
he's
yeah.
been flying like the Dubai flag now, right? Or like the Saudi Arabian flag.
Whatever.
I know. Sure.
Yeah, it's whatever.
The Saudis would probably pay all the Dagestanis to come over and represent their country.
They literally would.
Yeah. Yeah. So Russia would actually be depleted.
No, because Russia is so deep. That's the thing about Russia.
All
what
the
people don't understand.
oligarchs.
Well, no, there's so many good, like, the 1 through 10 in Russia, like, they're just random Russians who, like, have been, like, disqualified for being on gas and stuff, who are just, like,
Not even that. I mean, there's guys like Volkov, decent at heavyweight. He's just got booked for 302 against Almeida.
I think the
Weird choice
very weird.
for Jersey.
The Russian
Newark, New Jersey loves Brazilian versus Russian fights. Mickey's on that card, by the way.
of course he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, was supposed to see him this weekend, but he didn't make it down.
Never panned out.
Well, he was gonna come down
Is he?
Thursday night. Or,
Doesn't he travel to Jersey a lot to train with like Vicente?
I think he didn't want to come down because in the middle of camp, and we were really going after it. But it was his girlfriend's birthday, so
Gotcha.
they were. Doing
And
something.
Lucas got a fight this weekend.
Yes.
He's fighting Joaquin Buckley because Sean Brady dropped out.
Yep.
So I mean,
Yeah,
I think you put the house on
Buckley.
Luque. Yeah, dude, what? You think Buckley's gonna beat Luque?
I do.
No. There are levels to this.
There are, but I think he's just went on the skid.
You're just thinking because he got brain bleed from Jeff Neal. He also just won his last fight.
Against who?
Well, I gotta check.
Yeah, wasn't it on the early prelims.
Dude, I don't know.
He's
what
fighting
they're doing
contender
with Vicente.
series guys. We were talking about Vicente Luque eventually being future champion at one point in time.
He is not fighting contender series guys. First off, his last fight, he beat RDA. All right.
A 55-pounder? Congratulations. An old 55-pounder.
By decision. RDA looked good until he didn't his last fight, too.
Go away.
He got gamrodded. RDA looks good for 39. All right. I want to see how you look at 39.
It's not that far away.
How dare you?
Right?
You still got 5 years.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, dude, I like my America team.
Okay. Flyweight's tough because we don't really have anyone that's currently like ranked high up.
You also got to think
I
of
guess
the other-
Roy Val. Roy Val will be our dude. Raw dog.
Go away.
You would take Mikey over Raw Dog.
Yeah. I think Mikey breaks Raw Dog in a fight.
I don't think so.
I think he does.
All right. 35.
Did you see what he did to the Sambo World Champion's leg?
Yeah, but Mikey's never been punched.
I think he can learn. I really do. And everyone says the boxing is the quickest thing to come.
35, I have the easiest pick because I don't need him to make 25. Mighty Mouse.
Oh, we forgot about Mighty Mouse.
Or actually, no, fuck it. All right, Mighty Mouse is 25. You're going to have to cut weight because I want to be able to have like Corey or somebody at 35.
No. Mouse at 35.
Mouse
a
at 35.
juiced mouse?
All right, we got a Juice Mouse at 35. I'll take Roy Val 25. 45, we'll go Max. Max still got it. 55. Oh, man, this is tough. Gaethje?
No, you bring back Dake and you make Dake make 55. That's what I'm saying.
I'll still roll Gaethje.
Isn't it 70? You got Bo
70,
or 85.
85 is Bo.
Bo, yeah.
70, man. I guess
I don't hate Usman
still Usman.
if he can make it
He can, but
for America.
man, he gave Chimaev everything. So yeah, maybe he's for like a one fight situation. Like give it all. Maybe you jack his knees full of stem cells.
Who else though?
Definitely not. MAGA man. We're not taking Colby. Colby sucks.
No. Where's my phone?
You're just thinking. I mean, you could. Would Bilal represent us?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Good. I don't want him. I don't want Bilal.
What's next? 85, 80, 85. We got Bo.
I guess your heavyweight would be John Jones, just by default. We'll go with that. 205's tough. Jamal Hill, I guess. So it's not that tough.
Yeah. 70. Carter Sterucci, Penn State. He can make it. I was saying I didn't know if he wrestled 84 or 74. I couldn't remember. It's really early in the morning. Yeah, no, Carter. We bring Carter down. He is a thug. Like he is the dude.
All right, hear me out. For heavyweight, what about Gable?
I think John still fucks up Gable. We don't have enough time.
Okay.
John's still that good. That was my original thought. Well, we got Gordon, Gable, and John. I feel like
What's Gordon fighting at then? What's he cutting to? 185?
No, 205.
205?
I think he can make 205. He's like 220s, 230s.
Yeah, he can make 205 easy. I need him to make a tough cut. Yeah,
Dude, Gordon with the hands.
I guess 205 because like if Jamal Hill's the guy we're gonna run out otherwise. Yeah.
Gordon snaps Jamal Hill's leg.
Yeah, we'll go Gordon at 205. All right. I like that team.
Right?
I like that team.
You're
Especially
like oddly confident in America being okay.
Having a juiced mouse too. Yeah.
Right?
All right. I'm down with that. Who's our 70 pounder that we just said?
Carter Sterucci.
All right.
Yeah, I think we teach him hands for a year, and because he's still young. Like you get a guy like in his early 20s,
and at least it's like combat sports experience. Where I hate the fucking people that are out there being like, "Oh, it's LeBron James. You gave him like 6 months, and all he did was train."
No,
it's like, no, dude.
No.
Like I get he's an awesome athlete, but he's also kind of soft his whole life.
I mean, we've literally shown this with Greg Hardy.
Yeah. And if this was a thing, right? Like if your best athletes put their best foot forward and represent your country in war, this is technically a war now. Football doesn't become important, basketball doesn't become important. These guys are training at a young age. We dominate.
Yeah.
Fuck Dagestan. I guess who would low-key be decent? Mexico? Mexico would have a good, solid team.
No.
No?
Like, it would be...
Canada would lose everything.
Cuba?
Because Canada's already lost everything.
It'd be Cuba would have a sick team.
Canada would go over again, like they did that one card. All their male fighters just losing.
Yeah, they have GSP. That's it. And he's basically American.
China would really have to rely heavily on Wei Zhongli.
China's wrestling is kind of starting to bubble. No, you look at like the predominant Japan they have some decent wrestlers, some decent judo guys.
One of the best boxers too.
Yeah, some good boxing. So Japan, it's U.S., Russia, heads and tails. Then you got like Cuba, Iran.
Iran.
They have nasty wrestling.
I know, but they like execute all the wrestlers for sneezing the wrong way.
Dictators be doing dictator things, man.
Would Benil represent Iran?
Probably.
No. He loves America. He loves his Tesla.
He does. Actually, yeah. Bilal, no. Benil, yes. But we don't need him.
No, I'm saying Benil.
Yes. America.
Bilal.
Even though he's from Chicago.
He would jump ship.
Yeah, they would convince him. They've
To
already
represent, like, what is he, Palestinian?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, that's how you said, dude. You solve the Gaza situation that way. Palestine versus Israel. Israel doesn't have that many fighters.
They don't. They don't. But I feel like there's some. Like there's a UT law student who wrestled on the Israeli national team who I just bumped into randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Odd non-topic.
Didn't
but-
you have a wrestler that went over and served in the IDF for like 2 weeks?
Yeah, apparently that was a joke.
Yeah.
He trolled me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just on Birthright.
He,
But he did take a lot of photos with the IDF.
I thought that's part of your birthright, though. You gotta do your time.
I think he had to like do some paperwork, but while he was there.
It's funny. Jake was gone for a couple weeks. I don't know where he was.
Right?
Says he was in Florida. I don't think so.
No. I think they had meetups.
Rob even said he texted him on October 8th. Get some.
Oh. What's the next card?
So we got Aaron Blanchfield fighting the French chick. Probably for a number one contender.
Oh, Firu.
Farouk. Yeah.
Then Vicente Luque, Joaquin Buckley.
Farouk.
Weidman's back? Okay. Bruno Silva?
Yeah, it's low-key a decent card.
I mean,
Some decent names.
honestly, both these guys are so old. You just got to know which one's in
Let
better
'em chuck.
condition. Like, it's just like, which one? Like, you have to be in their camp and know how tuned up they are. Or, like, how not hurt they are, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I still give it to Weidman because I think he just wrestle fucks him.
I don't know about Weidman anymore.
I don't either. But I'm
Bruno
hoping.
Silva, maybe by knockout. Yeah, it kind of falls off a cliff. Anybody
Yeah.
good on the prelims? Oh, dude, we got Nate Landwehr
Okay.
All right.
All right. I think he
versus Jamal Emmers. I mean,
think
look,
he loses to Emmers.
yeah, but Nate's never in a boring fight.
No.
He's a psychotic looking person. And, yeah. Herbert Burns is that Gilbert Burns' brother?
I was literally going to ask that, but didn't want to sound racist.
No, I
Click
mean, I do believe he has a brother that's also in the organization. So that would make sense.
Yeah, he's from Brazil. This seems
Ah, my dude, Andre Petrosky, Delco kid.
okay.
He's fighting.
Okay.
I think he got starched his last fight though. Yeah, he Michel Pereira fucking KO'd him in the first round.
Gotta love that.
But I mean, Pereira at 185 he's a beast,
He is. He's still so much fun to watch.
and he's much younger than you would think.
Yeah, because he's just been in the organization for forever.
Yeah.
'Cause he's exciting.
Although maybe he's lying about his age too. So, but he's 30. The fuck, Michel Pereira's 30.
That's insane.
I'm like 3 years older than Michel Pereira.
And he looks like he should have grandchildren.
Yes, he looks like a guy in his 50s. You're like, oh man, he really is well put together.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, right.
He
must
must eat well. No, he's 30.
No,
So
he's-
it makes
she's
it
just
makes
30,
sense that he
yeah.
looks so good. He's a fucking animal. He's a unit. But yeah, not a whole lot of exciting things happening with the Apex. Obviously, with 299 being loaded, 300's a bit loaded. So you're gonna get these Apex cards that kind of suck.
Yeah.
This is one of the better ones. Although this is not an Apex card. This is in Atlantic City.
Yep.
So
I mean, exciting fights. They'll be fun, but it won't be, names or anything that kind of moves the rankings at all.
gotta get some local kids on.
Maybe next week we bring you an MMA iceberg episode where we go down the drama and the tier list through the iceberg.
What do you mean by that?
People on the internet know what I'm talking about.
I've
I'll come with it.
What iceberg?
The iceberg.
What's the tip?
You'll see. It's basically you just go from like very general topic knowledge to like the deepest of deep cuts.
All right, we
I
need
mean, the
something to fill
conspiracies.
fucking time.
We're gonna
I mean,
do
I'm
that.
sure something will happen.
I'll probably bring you a solo episode, just my take on the NCAAs. The NCAAs this year were absolutely insane. Upsets all over the place.
Yeah, but who won?
Some of the most amazing matches.
Who won?
The Penn State dynasty rolls on, but the question is, how long will Kale stay? Is there anyone who can challenge them? Is the transfer portal helping or hurting us? What's going on with NIL and then the reffing?
Yeah, what's the transfer portal like in wrestling?
It's
Is
way
it
way
the Wild
different.
West right now?
Yep.
Are people getting bags dropped for wrestling?
Some of the large teams' NIL budgets per year are $1.5 to $3 million of NIL specifically.
Truly, like if I'm Penn State wrestling, fuck the football program at this point. Like you're not better than Ohio State. You're not better than Michigan.
No, like football will always be your biggest revenue generator and be your biggest sport. So like you obviously
shift some of that money to wrestling.
What money do you need to shift?
Sharpen your sharpest tools.
Dan, I don't think you're aware of the landscape right now. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah,
there's not a want or a need for anyone. There's a line out the door, and then every other coach saying we're trying to build a team to contend with them.
But I'm saying make it the Death Star.
It is.
Make it more so. Keep building. Someone's going to get in there and blow it up. You got to keep building another one.
They won by like 40 team points, bro.
Win by 80.
I think they had 7 wrestlers in the top like 4 seeds or something. It was nuts.
Yeah, I don't know
forget
how
the
this works,
statistics.
so I just know Penn State's really good.
It's dumb. Like the Big Ten final photo where they line up all the champions looked like a Penn State team photo with like sprinkled in of another school.
I like that. It'd be like that sometimes, you know? Sometimes you got to be a dynasty. Sometimes you got to dominate.
I wish Kale would have stayed at Iowa State, but we'll talk about that. I'll do a solo
Nobody
wrestling
wants
episode.
Iowa State to be good.
You don't know the lore, man.
The Midwest lore.
You don't know the lore of Kale.
At least in Happy Valley, there's stuff to do. I don't know if there's anything to do in Ames.
Build a dynasty.
With some corn-fed boys.
I mean, we were looking for someone to knock off Iowa. We found it. I wish he just would have did it there.
What did it cost?
Well, it cost him going to the greatest wrestling state in the country, and then
Bow down.
dude, Pennsylvania. Yep, Pennsylvania by far. I mean, for the longest time, they were the laughing stock in the sense that they didn't. It's like, why didn't they have a college? That's a great program.
Because all the recruits would go somewhere else.
Yep.
In Ohio.
But now they're back with a vengeance, with one of the best dynasties in college sports ever. I think Kale will probably go down as one of the greatest athlete to coach transitions ever. I don't think anyone comes close, to be honest.
Usually, great athletes are not good coaches.
No. You win 4 NCAA titles, you win an Olympic title, and then you go and coach one of the best dynasties there ever was.
Because typically what makes a good coach is a guy that was in the league, didn't have the necessarily skills to excel, but had the brain for it.
Mm-hmm.
And typically it's really hard for like a Jordan or like a Gretzky or a Brady to like pass on their knowledge because they're like, I don't understand why you can't do this.
Right. Some things that just came inherently to them don't. And Kale just finds a way to translate that. So it's crazy.
We are.
On that note, thank you again for all of us being here. Full Casual. Please know that the title does not matter. Like and subscribe. And Dan?
Yeah. Later.